Welcome back, Panther fans. I didn't change the background. My name is David Brown, along with Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber.
Hello.
And this is State of Atlanta. Welcome back, guys. And I got beer on my keyboard. This night is starting off perfect.
Party down.
So welcome back, guys. It was a big week, big weekend, big week for Georgia State Panthers. How was y'all's week?
Yeah, I actually just wanted to start by saying this is the best crow in the world to eat. I'm fine with it. I have been knocking this team for a while now, and it seems that maybe the rust was in fact knocked off.
The team started gelling, right? At the right time.
There may have been some gelling that has occurred. I blame me. I showed up to a game, and all of a sudden things went right, just very right. And, it's my fault.
Yeah, Coach Lanier was like, we cannot keep this guy coming around here. We need to win to keep him away. That's what we need.
Yeah.
That is not how sports fandom works. I feel like now I need to make it to every home game from now on.
Well, fortunately, you're good for the rest of this season.
I know. I can make claims like that. And nobody will remember next year.
So were you still being a little pessimistic going into this weekend, Ryan?
A little bit, but man, I would watch that game here and was I was very impressed. I watched some really good basketball under Ron Hunter, and I saw some really great basketball at that last home game. So
yeah, how about you, Tim? Because we're Georgia State fans. We're supposed to be pessimistic going into games, right?
I guess through every episode in the last 4, 5, 6 weeks, I felt pretty good about if we can just play some freaking games, practice games, because this is all they are, right? They're practice. Right. We will finally start to play better as a team, and things will start improving. That's pretty much every week to week, that's what's happened. If you look at the last 6-game winning streak, we've only had 2 games that were actually close within, less than 5. Everything else has been 9 or above in wins, 9 wins and above.
Even then, those games that were 2 or 3 point games, we had big leads during the game. It's been kind of that thing this season, is being able to maintain and hold on to that big lead.
Yeah. We did our normal thing where we let teams get back in the game, and either we close them out like we have done a few times here, or we let it get too close and get all the fans anxious, which they love doing.
It's definitely destroying my nerves. I tell you what, the team comes out, and this has kind of been the recipe all season, to come out, get a big lead, squander it, and then trying to play catch up for the rest of the season or the rest of the game. And I think that happened the same thing in both these USA games. I think it's on the second game, they actually took the lead at halftime. I think it was like 40-39. And I'm like, come on. But then just came back and abused them again in the second half. But still ended up, I guess that game was like only like an 8-point game. It was the Friday, there was a 3-point game. But no, I was cautiously optimistic going into the games, knowing what had to happen. And with Coastal having played already ahead of time, we knew we had to win. We talk about these being practice games, but they were also kind of like playoff games, They
are. We wanted the 1 or 2 seed, right, to get a bye to get out of the first round of the tournament, which we did. You can't ask for a better finish to the regular season overall.
Yep. No, this is what we talked about all season long, was what Ryan was joking about at the beginning of it. This team just hasn't had a chance to knock the rust off, to gel, to play at the level that we know their talent is, and that's what's happened in these past 6 games. They've done that. Yeah. So as our buddy Julian says here on Facebook, if you're not pessimistic, you're not an Atlanta sports fan. I agree. We know our lot in life.
Didn't we go into last week at the beginning of the week? We were like number 5 in the East or something stupid. we were like almost last.
We were last, I think, before the Southern game.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a Troy. I don't remember, but we were last at one point. So we came from worst to first.
Yeah, that's crazy. You can't help but be pessimistic in that kind of condition,
The past 6 games, worst to first. That's also another Atlanta staple. Julian follows up saying, jokes aside, I'm nervous about the tournament. State is streaky, and I worry about being upset by Southern in the tournament. I agree with you, man. I agree completely. I think that the only bad thing about having a 6-game winning streak is at some point you lose a game. And when does that happen? Is it this season or is it next season? Or is it in the NCAA tournament,
Well, hopefully we can go on a 4-game winning streak, and then we're in the tournament and pass the first round.
Well, we got to win. Yeah, wait, let's win the next 4. Let's just win the next 4. That's all we have to worry about.
Yeah. No, I'm actually not that concerned about who we'll face in the first round, either Arkansas State out of the West or Southern. I can't call them that, man. Trash down south.
That's right.
Out of the East. Offensively, the team is firing. Like, we're getting good play from inside players. I mean, Kane Williams is hitting threes. Corey Allen's, stroking it from the outside really well. I mean,
wait, what?
whoa.
That got weird.
It's basketball lingo, man. Come on.
That's not basketball lingo. You're full of it.
That's one of the things I saw a write-up someone else did on the internet, because I have no original opinions. This all comes from things I've stolen from other people on the internet.
Yeah.
It was somebody from the one of the West teams writing about what little he knew about the East teams, and he actually a little sentence for all the other East teams, but for Georgia State he had a good big paragraph, and he's like, I don't know about this team. They're really good at assists. And the starting 5 all average over 10 points. It's they're just everyone just contributes to the game, which is so different from what we've seen in the past, the Ron Hunter years. And that's not a dig on Ron Hunter. We always had just a shooting superstar or two that kind of dominated the game. And now, so it was that Evan Johnson came out of nowhere on Friday. And
shooting 26 or something like that.
28 points. And then Jalen Thomas, it was the Jalen Thomas show on Saturday. So
he's been really the last 6 games, he's been pretty much automatic. I mean, he's perfected some of those shots that are 10 feet away.
That little jump shot right there off the paint.
Yeah, and he's not scared to just go and take it. Even when he's covered, he's doing pretty well. And that's not something you saw last year from him as much. He was a little bit more timid, right? And he's now just way more aggressive than last year, which you needed. Maybe Sosame is rubbing off on Thomas, right? They're still doing their, inside passes to each other. So I like that as far as going into the tournament, being able to, instead of it's one person or making, one pass off to the outside and taking a shot, being able to get stuff inside. Points in the paint, you must be, I didn't look at the season stats, but it's got to be up from every other game this season and probably in years past a little bit, I have to think. I think in previous years, we shot from outside a lot, right?
Yeah.
We're relying on that 3 too much. We're not doing it as much, and we're being more selective when we take our threes. So,
yeah, it seems like the entire team has gotten a lot more confident in what they're doing. The only kind of dig that I've noticed is I feel like we get a little sloppy with the ball handling. We'll get a point, we'll get a basket or something like that. We'll make it to the other side, and the other team, it happens all the time. They kind of knock the ball right out from our hands and go for the easy layup or the dunk or whatever it is. I just feel like we're a little sloppy on the ball handling.
We are. We're still sloppy. I think that'll work itself out as we continue playing. It's definitely better than it was for App, for sure.
Right. John Weaver's here. I think he's talking about Jalen Thomas. He's been taking that shot for a while, that little jump shot right there, several feet off the basket. And, yeah, it's incredibly efficient. When you're 6'10", you're pretty much just kind of rolling the ball off your hand right into the basket. So it should be easy.
Yeah, he's doubling his offensive output from last year.
Yeah, and then Jillian comments, I feel like people are forgetting we played without Nelson Phillips and Jones. Yeah, I agree, but we won't be seeing those guys in the tournament either. So
true.
That's just a testament to how much better this team will even be next season when they're the defending national champions. Conference champions or national
champions. Yeah, take the win.
Another big stat I would say is all 5 starters on both games scored double digits. That's great. That's balanced play. That means the defense can't just key off 1 or 2 people. Everyone's getting points, right? So as far as offense in the tournament, I feel good. Defensively, I think that's where we're going to probably struggle the most. It takes the most time to kind of build, chemistry to just know what to do, when to do it. We look better, but there were still sequences with South Alabama where they got points way too easily against our defense. And, that might work through the Sun Belt tournament for the most part. Maybe one game it doesn't. You get bounced. But in the NCAA tournament, definitely have to bring your A game there.
Right. And I feel like this team just looks different. Out of conference schedule aside, I mean, that was a very young and healthy team. But from the very beginning, when we played those coastal games, this team looks so different on the court than what it looked like. It looks like now than it did back then. And yeah, it's like watching two different teams. It's like watching two different teams. They really know what's going on, so it's exciting. And I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on Georgia State for the Sun Belt tournament because of all the cancellations and postponements. And I think that's very, very ignorant to do, because this Georgia State team looks as good as anybody else in the league right now. And I'd say better than anybody else. And of course, I'm going to be biased. I'm going to talk about Georgia State being better than anybody else, but really it does. I mean, South Alabama, sure. Okay. Yeah. They were doing really well until we swept them at home.
We knocked them down to the 3 seed. Ouch.
Texas State is been doing very well out west against teams that are absolute garbage at basketball. And they lost to some like non-Division I team to begin the season.
Right. Do you look at the records of the West teams that are out there? I mean, most of that division is below 500 overall, like total wins. It's just
right. And John here again. One thing that I noticed in the South Bama series, no one looked winded, tired, or out of shape. Our depth really showed, and will be a huge asset in the tourney. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think I was reading the notes from Georgia State on that game. I think the Georgia State bench on the Friday game outscored South Alabama 36-2.
That's a good stat.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that.
David
I would have lost right over that line that I written down here. So,
you wrote the line down? Nice.
No, I mean, I wrote that line down. I just copied what they said. Like, again, I take everything from the internet. There's not an original opinion in this brain of mine.
Yeah, I mean, the other big thing I think is, even the free throws are still pretty up there. I think on the last game we struggled a little bit. We're down in the 60s, but I think the night before we were high 80s or low 90s, which you can't ask for anything better than that. I mean, considering how traditionally terrible we've been at free throw shooting, and we were terrible this year. If you remember, we're like 2 of something bazillion. Like the last 6 games, and even before that, we steadily improved. So I'm really excited about going into the tournament this weekend.
Yeah. So, question for you guys. I mean, I think one of you guys already kind of answered the question, but so we face the winner of Arky State and the Trash Down South. I have my predictions on what you guys how you're gonna answer this question, but which team would you rather face?
Just win, baby.
I know, but you got to pick one. Which team would you rather?
I don't care. You just got to win every single game you play. That's it. That's when people, like today I saw the 24/7 Sports rooting guide. It's like who we're supposed to root for. That's not Georgia State, and I'm like, I don't care, man. I just want Georgia State.
Did you read it? Because
I didn't even click on it. I didn't click on it.
It had nothing to do with Sunbelt teams.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it was all teams outside the Sun Belt. It was the teams that we have played out of conference this season that we want to win in their tournament.
So to help our seeding or something?
To help our net score to bump us up.
I don't care about any of that stuff. Just win, baby.
All right, Tim, who would you rather play? Would you rather play Trash Down South again or a team you haven't seen, Arky State?
For probability to advance, I don't think it matters, but probably to advance, if it does matter slightly, Arkansas State. They're under 500 winning streak. They're 1-9 away. They're on a 3-game losing streak. I mean, you could say that they're due for a win, but I don't think so.
Well,
we haven't played Southern in our first round of the tournament in quite some time. So, that might not be the worst.
I kind of revenge.
That's a joke, guys. That's a joke.
Revenge a little bit if you want to face Southern and beat them handily. I can see
revenge
that
for
too.
what?
The game that never happened last year at our arena.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So my prediction was that Tim was going to say he'd rather play Arkansas State, but Ryan was going to pick Southern just because he likes to beat up on them and embarrass them.
Ryan,
if I win, I want it to be over Southern. So I guess that is my answer. Good for you.
Ryan went the answer he would always go with, which is it's basketball. I don't care. Just win.
Well, I care. I like rooting for our team. I like talking about how we won after the fact.
Yeah, talking about winning is a lot more fun than talking about
That's right. That's right. I'll talk about a box score all day as long as it has a W in it.
Exactly. Julian saying, hopefully Kane Williams can stay hot. Yeah, Kane's been looking great in these past 6 games, that past couple of games, really. Yeah.
We definitely need him to stay hot. He can't go back to the way he was playing earlier in the year. That won't be a good recipe for success when we're down in good old Pensacola.
Yeah, you said you're gonna go down there, Tim. You were telling me this weekend that you think you're probably gonna make it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the games that matter. You guys can go to the practice games. I'll leave it at that.
So you're showing up what, Sunday, Monday?
Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Oh, okay, because you're going to the Georgia State games then. Yeah. I thought you were saying you said the games.
Wait, what games would I be going to?
I thought you meant that you would like wait until because
no, I'm going to the tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, I still reserve the right to wake up Monday morning and drive down to Pensacola and go to the game.
Is that okay in your household?
I've said the same thing, that I reserve the right to do this. And
was there any response, or is it just quiet?
Is it kind of like a bowl game?
It was the best response at all. Like it was not a yes, it was not a no. It was just a silent treatment.
Yeah, that means that the doors are open, but they could close at any moment.
Yeah, if the game was just earlier in the day or was on a Sunday and earlier in the day, it's such an easier thing to make happen as a day trip. But I'm not driving down, 6 hours on Monday to drive back 6 hours at 9:30 at night.
I mean, think about it this way. Pensacola Bay Center is going to be at very limited capacity. No one's going to be there.
Yeah, I think
it's going to be like Uno.
Yeah. Well, for me, my concern is just, like I said, if it's a day trip, that's one thing. But then, yeah, you get into the hotel and you're going to party and go to bars and stuff like that along with the win. So, yeah, it just we'll see. I can't wait till next year when hopefully this is a game that's finished on a Sunday at noon or 1 o'clock, or not finished, but played at noon, 1 o'clock on a Sunday.
And next year they'll have their bridge fixed from Hurricane Sally, and you'll be able to actually stay on the beach and drive over the bridge right to the arena.
Yeah, the beach. Nothing's better than the beach when it's 61 degrees outside.
61 degrees there?
Yeah.
I think it's 61.
Oh yeah, that's chilly.
Oh, that's pretty nice. That sounds nice. It's cold right now here.
I was looking at the way the brackets played out, and when we win on Saturday, it's very possible that we face Bob Marlin's Lafayette team on Sunday, right? Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're going to be the strongest test we played outside of probably Coastal and South Alabama. All this, in conference,
right?
Tim, we need South Alabama to beat them up a little bit before we get to them.
Yeah, because they play the winner of South Alabama and Monroe. Do you have to imagine that South Alabama just beats the living snot out of Monroe?
Yes.
I don't really have, I've said it a lot, I don't really have any kind of feel any need to support the conference or the division or whatever. But for some reason, in this particular scenario, I'm kind of rooting for the East teams minus Southern to actually beat up on the West teams a little bit, just to make it look a little, because it looks,
show the dominance.
It looks so one-sided to begin the season when you looked at the teams, and then Little Rock underperformed, Texas State overperformed. I just would kind of like to see the East teams kind of beat the snot out a little bit. Be fun.
So an all East bracket emerges after the first 2 rounds.
That would be fun. That'd be fun. But I think that would have us end up playing App or something in our coastal ways.
Coastal or App.
It's built out. Yeah. So Tim, I had a note from last week. You said you wanted to talk about your favorite moment in the Sun Belt basketball tournament and second favorite. And I don't remember writing this down. So this must have been during the last call. So
it was during the episode. We were supposed to talk about it during last call, and we didn't.
Oops.
It's shareable, I guess. And one of them, they're both shareable. Favorite moment, going to the Uno Arena, and that's when I guess Southern was decent in basketball, or decently good.
When they had that NBA prospect on the team.
Yeah, and
the Mookie.
Tukey, right? He was supposed to be on our team. He committed and decommitted.
Yeah. Well, apparently his SED test came back positive, so he realized he had to be relegated to Statesboro.
Yo.
Yikes. No.
Sorry, I don't mean to be violating any HIPAA violations there. I think that's common knowledge.
So in one of the games there across the way in the arena, because the Southern fans, if you've ever been to the beautiful Uno Arena at Lakefront, it's A, empty, and B, old.
Not beautiful.
Not beautiful at all. Most of the fans sit on one side. A couple of fans sit on the other sides. There was one group of Southern fans that were on the other side that were very loud and exuberant. Except one of them.
Have they been pre-gaming at all?
I'm sure. Except one of them didn't realize, like, if you do pregame a lot, you have to go to the bathroom. He went to the bathroom in his pants. It was just gigantic, like, blue jeans and just wet all the way down. And he was still there cheering. I'm like, I think I have a photo of that shit. I was like, oh my God, total Southern fan, peed his fucking pants in an arena where there's plenty of bathrooms and no one in it, right? It's not like there was a line to use the restroom.
He was just so excited he couldn't contain it any longer. Yeah, my 4-year-old daughter has a similar problem. Watching Bluey is so much more entertaining than going potty. So yeah.
Second favorite
mentality of a 4-year-old. I get it. Yeah, makes sense.
Second favorite, I don't think was Southern. I think it was the year that Louisiana was really good, and they lost in the semis just before our game, and those fans, I mean, they were all streaming out of that. I mean, first of all, it's a home game for them for the most part. So there's a lot of their fans that went to that game that day, and they were streaming out of the arena pissed because I think they just barely lost the game by like a point or two.
Hey, that's one thing we know about fans from the state of Louisiana. They take losses very well. They're very amicable about it. They're like, oh, okay, maybe next year, best team won. Yeah, they're good people. They're good winners. Good losers. I mean, they're good losers.
They're not good losers. I'll tell you that.
Did they sue the opposing team for winning?
They probably did. No, but they were cursing coming out of the arena, and I just kind of didn't make eye contact. I kept walking to the side.
Did someone do that, David? That sounded like a reference to something.
That seemed real. Yeah.
I was referring to the Saints. Yeah.
Did they sue somebody for losing?
When the Vikings or was it the no call pass interference there at the end? I don't think it was an NFC Championship. I think it would have taken them to the NFC Championship. I can't remember. A couple of years ago. Yeah, they sued everybody. They sued the NFL. They
Well, you're not allowed to talk shit about the refs. So did the NFL say, well, you can't sue us? Like, we're just gonna fine you?
Fans, not the.
No, I thought coaches and teams couldn't talk smack about.
What I'm talking about, it was the fans that were trying to sue for this. Not
what is that? That didn't even make sense.
Yeah, they're dumb. I mean, look at that fan base. What do you expect? I mean, they have New Orleans education. We should live underwater. That makes sense. But anyhow,
I looked it up. It was the semifinals in 2018, and they lost 71-68 to Texas Arlington. So they must have lost on a last-second three or something crazy.
I feel like if you lose to Arlington or to Little Rock, you should be okay with that because they are basketball schools by definition. They don't have football. That's all they got is basketball. They put all their effort and energy into it. I don't care how bad they are. I mean, if we lose to them, I'd be pissed off. Any reason to demean a Louisiana school? Hey, Ryan, do you have a favorite Sun Belt tournament story?
Nope.
Yeah. The only thing I got is going to a bar on the championship game day here. It was here at Republic and off of Memorial. And I was with a bunch of buddies of mine. I'm like, I made them put on the game to watch it. And there was that game where we played the championship against Southern. And I think the game ended 37-35 or something ridiculous.
That shit was terrible.
I remember specifically my buddy looking at me at halftime or something. He's like, I thought you said you guys were good. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Is there any kind of plan for a watch party for this?
I am not organizing any kind of watch party whatsoever at all.
It's this weekend, right?
Because the world sucks.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, no, but we could still do something. I know there was talk about 6 Feet Under last weekend, but it didn't ever come.
There are some Georgia State fans talking about doing something, and I will promote anything I find out about.
Yeah,
I will not be at any of it.
You're not allowed.
Yeah. I shouldn't say anything. That's anything I would say jokingly, but anything that was heard would get heard would not be heard that way.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I remember that 38-36 game was the worst to be at.
Is that what it was? 36-38?
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, that was a horrible game.
The night before, I'm looking at the bracket now. The night before, I remember watching our game. We beat Lafayette by like 83-79. I remember we stayed to watch the Southern game, and they won 44-43. I'm like, what was that all about? 44 points? And then the next day, we get in there. Neither team cracks 40. I'm like, what are we watching? It was painful.
Speaking of the watch parties, whatever. So, what games are you guys gonna watch game on Friday? You gonna watch one at home here?
No.
I'll be in there, so probably watch something. Not be there though. I'm not going to the game.
Are you gonna watch?
You're gonna be in Pensacola, but you're like skipping that part.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go to whoever's playing that night. I'll probably just
go watch it on TV.
Yeah, you got so the Arky State Southern games at 6 hour time. It'll be 5 down there, and then South Alabama ULM, and I guess I don't care about I don't know, UTA Troy and App State. Yeah, so
you can't.
The games are only on ESPN Plus, so it's not like you can go to a bar and watch the games there unless the bar has ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus, yeah, there is like some kind of bar outdoor area that's quote sponsoring Georgia State. So I was wondering if we could go over there and maybe they'll have the games on ESPN Plus. But I mean, I do want to probably try to catch some of the Arkansas State Southern game. But I mean, going to the games right now, the ones that are at Pensacola Bay Center, you can't buy tickets. Like you have to get into player passes through the university.
No, not Bay Center, the college one.
I mean the Pensacola State College.
Sorry. Yeah, the college one is by pass only. You got to go through the universities to get those. Yeah. Which fortunately we don't play at because we're the first seed, so we don't play any games at State College. So yeah, I'll watch.
Close.
There's 2 venues.
Yeah, because of the way things have worked out, there's 2 venues.
I don't think I knew that. I didn't realize that. Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
Well, because they're also doing the women's games at the same time.
Women's are there at the same time. Yeah. So a lot of people want to go to the women's game on Saturday. It's at 2 Central Time. I think.
Yeah, I've got it here. I got it somewhere. But
I think it's at 2 Central, and our game is at
well, that's
5:30. It's not, and they're different places, right? Like,
I want to say kudos to the women's team as well because they came back and much like the men's clawed their way up. And they got a 2nd seed in the East, meaning they get a first round bye as well. It's been a long time since the ladies have finished that high in the regular season, as I recall.
So I think they had like 5 wins last year. Right?
Kudos to them, yeah. Kudos to them and Ryan, to their coach. What's his name?
Free beer. I know it. Come on.
Thank you, Coach Gene Hill. On this season.
Gene Hill, guys. It's Gene Hill.
Yeah. So it'll be a fun weekend.
Yeah, I was thinking about trying to make it out for the women's game, but I'm not really sure. With it being at 2, our game at 5:30. Travel between the 2 places, or one's at Pensacola State, one's at the Bay Center. No pre-gaming.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. It's the pre-gaming that you're worried about missing out on. So
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why is there no pre-gaming?
Because you'd be at Pensacola State College watching the women's game.
There's no booze sold at these events.
I think there will be at Bay Center. I'd be surprised at Pensacola State College.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, plus you got to travel between the 2. Like, it's probably at least 15 minutes wherever that place is to the Bay Center.
15-minute drive.
Yeah, at least. I'm thinking.
Right. Well, Tim, I want you to keep us updated along the way. Maybe you can post some social media things, some updates we can retweet out or whatever. Let us know what's going on down there.
We can do that.
Live vicariously through you down there in Pensacola. Because I really wanted to go. When they announced the move to Pensacola, I was excited. I'm like, finally, I'll go to a Sun Belt tournament. Like John Weaver said, a weekend in Pensacola sounds pretty great. I agree completely.
Come on down, John. There's no one going. Plenty of seats available.
It'll be empty.
Did I ask already if we were number 1 overall or is Texas State above us?
Texas State is number 1.
Okay, all right. Cool.
Yeah.
They got to play more games and they won more of them. So
yeah, I mean that's fair. That's cool. We'll just have to beat them. That's all.
I would prefer. I would actually like to see a Texas State, Georgia State,
The 2 best teams play. Yeah,
the 2 best in both divisions. That'd be great. Yeah. Also, like I said earlier, I wouldn't mind getting a little East Coast win. We play somebody from the East Coast to win because we know we can beat all of them.
Right. I think it would be good too, just from a overall perspective of, well, Georgia State hasn't played that many games. They didn't deserve to be the 1 seed. All that garbage that's probably out there. If we get all the way through and we beat Texas State, what do you have to say now? Right? There's nothing left to say.
Do you think that anybody in the West really respects Texas State that much in basketball this season?
They have to, right?
They're the 1 seed.
In the West, they have to. Yeah, they're the 1 seed. They beat all of them up.
I think it's Arkansas State actually beat Texas State like in 3 of their matches or something like that. There's more. It's like all of Texas State losses came from 1 team in the West. So
it happens. That's fine. Yeah. Arkansas State can beat, thump their chests over it, and if they don't win in the tournament, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
Oh, we got the way our tournament goes.
Yeah, there we go. A little Gene Hill love. Danny King says, "Love Coach Hill, very funny guy." Thanks.
It's true. He is.
Thanks, Dana.
Super nice guy.
All right. So good luck to the guys and the gals down in Pensacola this week. I'll be watching, and this will end on Monday night, so we can talk all about it on Tuesday next week. And it looks like Tim's emptying out his I don't know what Tim's doing over there.
No, I got
open it from the outside.
Is it a little red stripe or is that cough syrup you got there?
No, it's Hellas from Zillicoa.
We're on Facebook, dude. You can't put things like that up.
Zillicoa Brewing. It's got I didn't have a bottle opener except on my book bag right here, so I had to improvise, or I couldn't drink beer. And you gotta drink the beer.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
I was looking at like, what can I do this on my desk?
I was going to talk about baseball. Baseball had a.
Can we talk about one thing about baseball and then skip the rest?
We talked about a quarter of baseball, or a
25%.
So baseball played UGA on Wednesday, lost that game. That sucks. Blah, whatever. UGA sucks in general. But then we played a 4-game series against the number 2 team in the nation, Vanderbilt, up there in Nash Vegas, and nabbed the first game. Was it 4-2 on Friday? That was a huge win.
It was another 4-game series.
Another 4-game series. This time it was away. But this baseball team is an exciting team to watch. I mean, I really, really am interested in this baseball team this season. Unfortunately, we're in a long road series right now, so not the chance to watch some games at home. Other than tomorrow, we're playing Tech in Atlanta. We were supposed to play today. So you guys were both home today. We were supposed to play Tech at home today, but they bumped the game because of inclement weather in Atlanta.
It was what? There was a little bit of rain, I guess, but there was no lightning or anything.
I checked the radar this morning. There was a huge storm that went very, very south of Atlanta. I don't know what they're talking about. I think Tech was just trying to get some people.
Scared.
They're scared.
So the storm was coming. It was called Georgia State.
Exactly. A Panthernado was coming in.
Panthernado.
There's an episode title, right?
we were super close at taking 2 from Vandy. I mean, we tied up that second game 4-4, and they had 1 solo home run, and that was it. Like, we're super close. I mean, the other 2 games, not so hot. I think they had their aces in for those 2 games, what they were saying on the broadcast.
I was saying that the Sunday game, the doubleheader on Sunday, that the 2 pitchers we faced from Vanderbilt, both of them are expected to go in the top 5, top 3 or something like that in the draft this season. So when he said that, I kind of what I did not expect though was for them to put up 12 and 17 runs against us. So apparently our pitchers were not the aces in the hole there on Sunday, but
we just did it the inverse. That's all. We had our best pitchers in the first 2 games.
I still say this baseball team is something special this season. I felt it before the season even began, And after beating West Virginia, after beating Vanderbilt,
split with West Virginia and scoring 20 runs in the second game of our wins, basically, is just unheard of for this team.
Exactly. So I'm hoping I'm not going to be able to make it out to the Tech game tomorrow. I really want to go, but it's at 4:00.
It's a little early.
Kids ruin everything. Don't have them. Don't have kids.
Okay.
Have adult children. That's what I want. I want adult children.
Do you just feed them beer?
Exactly. Oh, I need a designated driver is what I need. So, yeah. Then my favorite subject. Schedules released for football
or realignment. What's your second favorite?
But was it really released? I mean, like, didn't we know every bit of it?
We didn't know the order of the games. We didn't know how bad the Sun Belt would screw us over in the order of games.
Oh my God, dude! They don't care. They're just not thinking about it. They didn't screw us over. They didn't.
Exactly. That's my point. They don't care. You should pay attention to this. You can make some really exciting games out of this. You can make some equitable games across the entire conference. But no, Sun Belt doesn't care. Actually, it wasn't that bad. I'd like to rip on Sun Belt. They've gotten better on their scheduling. This was not the worst schedule we could have had from Sun Belt. It's been not the worst schedule we have had from the Sun Belt. Normally, they'll put us in games where we're like 30, 40 days between home games.
Right. That's crazy. A whole month usually.
Right, yeah. So it really wasn't that bad. The first thing I noticed out of the gate was we play. Because I think that all teams have the ability to play home and away alternate. Just go home and away, home and away, home and away the entire season, and we do that up until week 10. I mean, out of a 13-week season, that's pretty damn good. So that's a bonus. That's a plus in the Sun Belt's favor. They actually did do that, but. Yeah, so that's good. I actually wrote these notes down as first thoughts and then good and bad, so I don't want to get into the good and bad until I get to my first thoughts. What do you guys think?
Should we talk or let you get to your
I realized I wrote this down for me to go into a rant, and I know that me going on a rant doesn't do anybody any good.
Well, I can go on my first thing, which was the immediate notice was, God, 3 away games in a row against top talent.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Sunbelt.
Yeah. So there are only there's 3 teams in the entire Sunbelt that got 3 away games in a row. And of that, only one of those teams has a short week on away games. So we play the Trash Down South on a Saturday, and then have to get up on Wednesday and go to Lafayette to play a Thursday night game. And then we have a couple extra days prepare for Coastal away on a Saturday as well. So that's not, I feel like if you short week, that short week should be either a bye or a home game going into it.
I agree. I think that would be a better scheduling perspective for the Sun Belt, but they don't care.
They don't care.
They're just like, oh, it's Thursday. That's the same thing as Saturday. It's just 2 days off. It's fine. Brian, you're looking very bright right now.
Yeah,
it's really distracting.
They're like, well, with the time change between the East and the West, it works out somehow, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're not that smart.
Definitely works out.
I think that the thing that stood, the very first thing that I noticed that really stood out the most to me was not playing Southern, not playing that Trash Down South the last week of the season.
We all know they conspired to make that happen.
Oh, absolutely. I have these visions of a whiny little Georgia Southern fan, like several of them, calling into this mythical creature called Keith Gill, who no one has seen or heard from. He's like the groundhog. He hasn't come out to see his shadow yet, and begging and pleading to not play Georgia State the last game of the season, purely because the Trash Down South is tired of losing to Georgia State whenever they play us.
Step 1, bow out of the rivalry series trophy thing that I don't even really care about, but they bowed out of it last year, right?
Great timing, right?
Step 2, they're not our rival. What are you talking about? There's no trophy anymore.
Nope.
Move them away from our rival weekend. We want app.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure that's how that went down because that's basically how the Sun Belt
works,
right?
Their fan base has been saying for forever that Georgia State's not a rival, and I'm like, I agree because you beat your rival, but you don't beat us.
It's true.
Statistically,
it's
decently
even. We just lead the evenness.
They begged the Sun Belt to make rivalry week be against their old FCS nemesis, App State, who also leads that series as well.
If you don't think they're a rival, what are you upset about? That's what I don't understand. To me, they are clearly a rival. It doesn't make any sense to deny it. It doesn't make any sense at all. We actually give them a lot of space on this podcast for no other reason than the fact that they are our rival. Otherwise, we would not give them the space that we give them on this podcast. And so we should play them on rivalry weekend because they're our rival, whether they like it or not, whether we like it or not.
That was exactly what I wrote down in my notes here was you get two choices. You either don't care if we play them on rivalry weekend, which means they're not a rival, or you demand we play them on rivalry weekend because they're a rival. And so I was pretty bummed when I found out we weren't playing them then. And you got Ben and others saying we should play them the week before the Georgia-Florida game because that's Georgia high, and it becomes the biggest game in Georgia if you do that. Not. And I'm like, I don't want to be in a position where we're scheduling our games around other teams. I don't care if they're in-state or out-of-state. I don't want to schedule our games around other teams. We should be our own brand and do our
people
own
have
thing.
Expectations, and you don't just say like, oh, we're less good, so we should schedule around the people who are more good. No. We put a good product on the field, and we should demand that we have the same type of traditions as other schools, right? I mean,
I'm not going to act like I don't hate everything about that entire section of the state of Georgia, but yeah, let's screw them.
I feel like Savannah.
I was going to say really just like a 5 mile square radius. I mean,
so yeah,
is there such a thing as a square radius? I don't know. I don't think so.
It depends on your reality. I don't know.
Whatever.
The Earth's flat anyway, so it's fine.
I was using Georgia Southern logic.
Yeah.
If Georgia Southern does not see us as a rival and they don't want to play us on rivalry weekend, that's fine. I'm okay with that. We're not rivals. We're in-state foes, whatever you want to call it. Let's move on. Like
David, we're rivals. You can't just wish it away.
I'm not wishing it away. What I'm saying is I don't want to play them in general, not because I don't see it as a rivalry, is I just don't like acknowledging that team actually exists in the universe.
I love playing them. That's the team that I...
And that's why I said that you were going to pick us to play Georgia Southern in basketball. Is it
the team that I feel the exact same way about as you? Like I have like you describe them and I'm like, I'm like, I want to play that team because I want to beat them. I just want to beat that team.
There's no better feeling as a Georgia State fan than walking away from either a win against Southern or a win that just really puts Southern in their place. I agree completely.
Yeah.
But I've decided that I don't care if we play them on rivalry weekend. I think it's weird to play Troy. They're pretty close. Okay. You can manufacture that rivalry if you want to. That's what we play this season. But I definitely feel like Southern went kicking and screaming like the little whiny children that they are to the Sun Belt and said, we don't want to play Georgia State on rivalry weekend. We want to play App State and enjoy your November 27th in Boone, North Carolina.
Who would our other football rival even be though? Like ooh la la, we definitely agree that they're a rival in basketball, but nobody really. I mean, we want to beat them in football. I guess it's close to a rivalry, but it's not there.
Yeah, we don't really have one.
But like, who else? Yeah, who do we have as a rival in football besides Georgia Southern?
If you're going to base it off of win-loss record, it's probably South Alabama, but I don't give a shit about.
I don't base it on win-loss. I base it on what I care about. That's why, like, I get so much more emotional at the Georgia Southern game. Like, I just want it more. You know what I'm saying? Like, when that win, that whatever, that 32-7. I know we hate bringing up that score, but that game, what?
31-7. No,
Whatever.
You know that if I didn't clarify that, there'd be some Southern troll be like, "No, you didn't score 32 points."
Yeah. The important thing to me was just identifying the game.
In that game, what we did do is give you the biggest home loss in your school's history. So
that game, shellacking.
That game was insane. I mean, besides like the Tennessee game, I don't know a time that I've been that excited watching a game, pacing around in my pacing around in my living room, just like screaming at the TV, being like, what am I watching? What is this? What planet am I on? How amazing is this? I mean, nothing feels better than just stomping the ever-living crap out of that team.
Yeah, and when they scored their 7, we gifted their 7. By the way, we didn't score the 7.
That was garbage. It was a garbage.
It was a string of penalties that gave him half the field.
Yeah, I will say that the Tennessee game got us more national notoriety, but
so they're a rival, right?
As far
Tennessee's a rival.
Yeah,
but as far as the feeling I got after a win, 31-7 is by far the And then number 3 is probably 41-7 against Shorter, the very first game of the season. Like that's kind of how it works out there. Yeah,
that was pretty high on the elation meter.
That was different. That was a different excitement. You know,
they're all different. But so I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Sure, whatever. I don't
with what.
And I don't care what weekend we play them. I don't care if it's the same weekend as Georgia, Florida. I don't care if it's the weekend before that. Just whatever. Just make that another game, or we find out when we play them. Although I do kind of like how the SEC has that tradition of games being you play the same opponents on same week, so you kind of know what's going on. But I don't really care anymore.
So if we happen to leave this conference, would you still want to play Southern, David? Because I think you said earlier that you don't even want to know they exist.
Oh, we can play them at home every 4 years. That's fine. Like treat them like the FCS team they really are.
I want to schedule them out of conference every single year.
At home.
That's what I want. I think
at home
continue it even if we do.
Either my game, we can pay for another. I'm going to be totally happy paying for another loss in their schedule every year.
I mean, whatever it works out. I mean, I think that we should do it. It's fine.
All right. We spent a lot of time on that.
That's fine. It's important stuff.
We only have any more on the schedule?
We only have we got a lot on the schedule. We only have one weeknight game. What is y'all's take on the whole weeknight thing? It's really a G5 deal. I know a lot of P5s will do it for the national stage, but for the most part, the weeknight games is really a G5 way to get on TV. It sounds like a lot of the Sunbelt fans, they kind of base their season on how many weeknight games they get. What do you guys think about it?
I'll take one, and I'll take one that's away. It's that simple.
They're fine. I don't want too many of them. The one is good, and if we're on national television because of it, even better. That's all.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Tim on this. I'll take one and I'll take it away. I don't want it to be like I'm fine with being opening up Thursday at home. Okay, I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
We have a weeknight game. Let's open up early. That way I can get to Dragon Con for the entire weekend. That's most.
Yeah, you get it out of the way. You get that nice holiday weekend to do whatever the heck you want.
Right. Yeah. But so we have the one. It's at Lafayette. 5 days after playing Trash Down South. So yeah, it seems like a lot of fans really base it off of that. Like there was someone saying that having only one weeknight game is like a bad thing. I'm like, I don't want. We had like 3.
It's a good thing.
Was it 3 we had last year? I was not a fan.
You get weird situations with people coming off of work and coming out, and like then me and you, David, we're already just like trash because we've been drinking all day.
Yeah, we're blasted.
And everybody just shows up like in their work clothes, and we're like, man, we're blasted, guys. Like, what are you doing showing up? We're past here.
I mean, the biggest thing is going to be the scheduling. What time are games going to be this year? Hopefully late.
2 p.m., Tim. Come on, man. Did you not get the memo the last 10 years? 2 p.m.
I want 2 p.m. I want 2 some night games.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out times like 2 weeks before games. Hopefully, we get some night games at home, and we do end the season with 2 home games. I do like that. I like ending the season with 2 home games. That's good, even if that last home game's against Troy, which Troy could become a good little rival over there.
Sure.
Yeah, man. I just got nothing for them.
Yeah,
we can manufacture that somehow, some way, eventually. I don't know.
I mean, they're a rival in basketball.
Oh, I got nothing. I got nothing for them. No feelings whatsoever.
Right.
I'm dead inside when it comes to Troy.
All right, we're pushing an hour, so we can go over a few more thoughts on this in last call. I want to talk about our other sports. We played 19 games since we had last did a podcast. 19 games.
It's a lot.
And over that time, we went 10-9. That's a positive record, if you ask me.
If you ask anyone, really, it's +1.
If I use that decision science degree I went there to Georgia State for, that looks like it's above 500.
Oh, yep.
Boom.
Yeah. So, and actually,
wait, is this ranked choice wins? I don't know.
Sure. We're gonna get into ranked choice later on. Friday was a big day. Friday we had men's and women's tennis, men's and women's basketball, and baseball all won 5 wins, 0 losses on Friday. That's like a good little Georgia State day there on Friday. So
yeah, what sport was that? I wasn't paying attention.
Men's and women's tennis, baseball, and men's and women's basketball. So
man,
yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day. It's a good day. And
mark that on our calendar and
5-shot
games that day next year.
Then we played beach volleyball and softball. Got in the mix. With some wins and losses there. Either way, we went 10-9.
We got beach volleyball again. You guys ready to go?
Yeah.
Are we in?
Back. Yeah, we don't have home matches here for a while. I don't think it's weird. Beach volleyball is weird. Every year I want to go. And every year I'm like, there's like one game at 2 on a Tuesday that happens, and it's
yeah.
So, but yeah,
there's some G-deck tailgating and head on down
right there by the MARTA train, like by all the little encampment tents and everything at the homeless. We can just like
G-deck, man, G-deck
for everything, right?
You just tailgate right outside.
Yeah,
they won't mind. Probably,
or just at the encampment. That's fine too.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I got to pee really bad, so we're gonna run through this really quickly here.
Woo, let's do it as fast as we can. Hey, Tim, you want to slow this down a little bit somehow?
So, David, what's the latest realignment news?
There's nothing. Well, Coastal has moved to Conference USA, so we can talk about that as well.
I did see that.
So, in other sports this week, we have 21 games. 21 games between now and when we record next, plus men's golf doing a match. And I don't know how you qualify that because you kind of place. You don't really win or lose. You just kind of place.
No, we can win. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll figure out a way to win. We'll figure out a win. So best of luck to baseball and softball, men's and women's tennis, men's golf, beach volleyball, the ladies in the Sun Belt tournament, the men in the Sun Belt tournament. Yeah.
What's cool is they're all playing. I'm excited about that. That's nice to hear that. Like all the sports are basically like there's not any cancellations or anything. Are there any cancellations? Do you know?
As of the Georgia State calendar we've seen so far, no cancellations going on.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So, you guys got anything else before we head over to the last call?
Nah, we'll let you pee.
I gotta go really bad. All right. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks for you that joined us live and commented. Makes the show a lot more fun.
You got a coupon code?
Yes, we're gonna go head over to last call, where we have a few more drinks and talk a little more candidly about everything we talked about tonight and a few other things. I got there was talk about apparently everyone is all of a sudden surprised about the Blue Jays wanting to play at Turner Field last year. That somehow got traction. I'm not sure. Coastal soccer moving to Conference USA. Georgia State has no home for soccer. And Ryan had something about Georgia State politics I want to talk about.
All right.
Yeah.
You said you added the coupon code and then just glazed over it. Is there a coupon code?
Yes, there is. I was going to get to it.
Is it I gotta pee?
Exactly.
I gotta pee 21. I gotta pee 21.
You're killing me here. On our merch website, merch.cityofAtlanta.com, promo code
little
for free. That's
Madness.
available for just our listeners. So yeah, Madness for free shipping there.
Ballsy move.
We're going to do last call, and it's free to everybody on patreon.com/State of Atlanta this Friday, immediately to all of our Patreon members.
David SP so bad.
You guys keep screwing me. Please consider joining our Patreon for $3 a month and help us grow the show, and you'll get discounts on the merch, more than just the free shipping, early access to last call, ability to join our private group chat, and access to exclusive content that I've not come up with yet. So thanks, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.